Welcome to my world. I'm your host, Kevin Rutherford. It is Monday, December 11th, and we are here live. Today's going to go fast. I'm only doing an hour today. I am on the road heading home. I have another stop today, but, tomorrow, actually. A lot has happened since our last show on Thursday. Pick up the phone and join me. It is a free-for-all today, and I'm going to go to the calls here fairly quickly because I don't have a lot. And we've only got an hour today, so jump in. The number to join us, 319-527-6791. You can also use the Call Now button on your app. That will get you right in. It is a free-for-all. Jump in and join us, but you better do it quick. Today's show's going to go fast. So, Friday last week, I did not do a live show because I was in the Nest training at NASTC. That is their new entrance survival training. And it's required, I believe it's still if you have less than 5 trucks or you don't have your authority. It's a really good class. I've heard a lot about it. A lot of people are upset that they have to go when they're required to go. Almost everybody is happy that they've gone afterwards. What you learn is that people join NASTC for the fuel card, and their fuel program really is just about the best in the business. Great discounts, great locations. That's what people get excited about NASTC for, but NASTC has so much more. Honestly, after seeing, and I spent more than just Friday. Friday was just kind of the culmination for me. I was in Nashville for almost 2 months, and I spent a lot of that time with David Owen and the team at NASTC and going through all the programs at NASTC. I will honestly say this now, and this is a pretty strong endorsement coming from me. I can't imagine why anybody with less than 50 trucks would have their own authority or run a small fleet and not be a part of NASTC. I really can't imagine why you would do it. The programs they have are top-notch. There were even a couple programs I thought I was going to have some conflict with. I know they have a CPAP program, and I'm not going to talk about it today, but at some point I'll talk about why it's the best. I hate the whole CPAP thing. I think it's nothing but a big money grab in trucking. I think if you're a driver, you should stay away from that program. The FMCSA is about to make that worse again. In fact, I spent a couple hours with David the other day. David was drafting a letter to the FMCSA about the changes they're trying to make right now and how they're basically illegal, but they may do it anyway. Again, I'm not going to talk a lot about it. They do have a CPAP program. It's very different from anything else I've ever seen. They also have a factor, which I think people know how I feel about factoring. I thought I was just going to basically have to avoid those two programs or talk about why, my opinion on them. Their factoring is even very interesting and unusual. It's a different program in good ways, but again, it's not going to change my opinion on factoring, and I'm not going to change my opinion on CPAP. Those are just two of their programs, but they were two I thought I might have a little bit of a conflict with. I really don't, though, after seeing them. But again, it doesn't change my opinion about either service. They've got a lot of other great programs that, not really interested in because they're compliance. But if I had my authority, I'd absolutely be in that program just so I wouldn't have to worry about compliance. They can actually train you on the drug testing program they have. They can train you no matter how small your company is. They can train you to be an on-site collection center. That really makes it a lot easier on your drivers. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about it today. We've already got some calls coming in. So we'll get to those here in a couple minutes. Jump in and join us. It's going to go fast today. So it looks like I got out of Nashville just in time. Friday night, we also had a great turnout of Fokkers. And it was funny because David referred to them as Fokkers all day long. It was a good day. I didn't get a chance to spend time with all of them like I had hoped I would. Friday went really fast right after the meeting wasn't even completely over, and David and I and Brent had to go up to the conference room for another meeting. And then David and I went straight from there to dinner to wrap up a couple things before I left. So I didn't get a lot of time to spend with anybody like I had hoped. So I went to bed fairly early Friday night, got up at 4 in the morning, hit the road. And the first 24 hours of my trip home was very successful. I got in a little over 1,000 miles in the first 24 hours. Yeah, I know, no logbook. I made it from Nashville to Ogallala, Nebraska in the first 24 hours. So more than halfway to Boise. I thought I had a great start. I was way ahead of the game. And I got up, I didn't go to bed till almost 3 in the morning. I guess that would have been Saturday morning. No, Sunday morning. And I got up and started driving. Unfortunately, the winds, even in Nebraska, were horrendous. When I got to Wyoming, they got really bad. And then it got down to the point where 75 mile per hour gusts, 45 mile an hour steady winds. The trucks were crawling, so trying to get around them up the hills was interesting. Everybody was having a hard time staying in their lane. I was getting 3.5 miles to the gallon in fuel mileage. The winds were so strong. And then when the wind started ripping the awnings off the side of it would unroll the whole awning. And I have 4 big awnings on this coach. It's like 40 feet of awning on each side. And the wind got under it and would roll them out about 3 feet. I could see it in my mirrors. And then they would slam back in. And I thought, okay, that's not good. We're going to tear an awning off here and I'm going to be stuck. So unfortunately, I wasn't in the greatest spot to stop, but I had to stop. I was up the top of the pass there at, what's the name of that little town? It's famous in Wyoming because it only had 1 resident. The population was 1. And then he moved or died or something. I forget what happened to him, but the population I think now is 0. Luckily, I found there's a little convenience store there. It's the only thing in, why am I drawing a blank on the name? Buford, Wyoming. So there's a little convenience store there, and there was a DOT Quonset hut kind of building and another shed, and I was able to tuck in between those two and get mostly out of the wind. The awnings were still banging around. Actually, yesterday just wore me out. I was there from, around noon, I guess, until about 5 this morning, and just getting pounded by the wind the whole day. Couldn't go out, couldn't really do anything. Luckily, my Starlink held up to the wind, and I had internet all day, so I got a little bit of work done, watched a little bit of TV, took some naps, but I ended up feeling worse this morning when I woke up than I did yesterday. So I got in a couple hours of driving this morning. I think I've got about 8 hours or so left to Boise. I'm at the Bitter Creek Rest Area westbound of Wyoming. What is this, about the 100-mile marker maybe? I don't know. So today's going to go quick. I need to get back out on the road. I got to get some miles in. I've got some things to do before tomorrow. And then tomorrow in Boise, I'll be speaking to the sales team at truckstop.com. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I should probably think about that today. And then I'm about 7.5 hours from home from there. So, yeah, we'll probably spend the night tomorrow night in Boise. Depends on what happens after the meeting. Normally, they want to go out to dinner, so at that point, I'll probably spend the night, get up early, and start heading home. I guess it would be Wednesday morning. I am doing the show all week, as far as I can tell. So we will have the power hour tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll get to a place where I can. I'm really hoping I just have enough energy and motivation left to get into Boise tonight. And then I'll probably get an RV park if I get close to Boise tonight. Then I can get up in the morning, get a little bit of work done, do the show, and then my presentation at Truck Stops after lunch. So we'll see how that all goes. I'm going to get to the phones. Do I have anything else from this weekend? I'm going to be talking about NASTC and a lot of what's going to be going on from now on. It looks like we've worked out any of the conflicts we may have had. We had several long meetings about what we might be doing with software, but it looks like we will be moving forward on some fairly big projects with NASTIC. Our mission at NASTIC is to really kind of help them create a one-truck model. They really don't deal in that world right now. They really don't do a lot with fleets under 10 trucks, but over the years, we've sent them a lot of smaller fleets, and now we're going to start working on a NASTIC-like program for that 5-truck and under group. All right, I'm going to get to the calls. They're starting to come in. If you want to jump in, you better do it quick. It's going to go fast today. 319-527-6791. Let's go to Nebraska to get started. Grant, good morning.
Good morning. I thought of another thing while I was listening to your open. Have you talked to David in Nashville after the tornado hit Hendersonville? Is he close to there?
He lives in Hendersonville, and that's where I've been parked. So I got out of there within, about 24 hours of all that happening. So I have not talked to David since then.
Gotcha. Because I have a couple of friends from the entertainment world that are based out of Hendersonville, and it sounds like it was a big mess. But as far as everybody that I know is all right.
Sure was. It looks like Hendersonville got hit hard, and then Clarksville, where Fort Campbell is.
Yeah. So I've listened to you for a long time, Sirius, and then the app, and I decided on Black Friday, shit, and get off the pot instead of just not doing anything. So I signed up for coaching. I bought a gift card to get started with supplements and all that and change how I feel.
Good.
Is there some place on the website that describes the bulletproof coffee and the regiment of the Cardio Miracle and all that? How to get started?
There is a video somewhere about making NDK coffee. I can walk you through it pretty quick, and then you can just come back and listen to this recording if you want, because it's easier than trying to find it sometimes.
That works for me.
Here is I like to start off with the base of NDK coffee, which is really just the original bulletproof coffee recipe. The original bulletproof coffee was 2 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. So that's really it. And then you just blend it. And you have to blend it because it's a lot of fat and it will separate if you don't. So a stick blender, even those little cheap, $10 electric stirrers will do it. Then from there, I like to make sure I get my light balance put in a capful or 2. Lately, it's been 2.
Okay.
The NDK vitamin D and K drops, I always put those in for my daily dose of vitamin D. And then you can put collagen, that kind of stuff. We've got some flavored collagens if you want flavored coffee. That's the basic recipe. Every now and then I'll throw another supplement in there depending on what I'm doing. But that's pretty much the recipe. If you're worried about your fat digestion, the first couple days you might want to try 1 tablespoon of butter and 1 tablespoon of coconut oil just till you get used to it. It's a lot of fat first thing in the morning for some people. And then the
coconut oil is the brain octane?
I prefer brain octane, and that's what I use in mine, but I didn't bring enough with me on this trip, so luckily I had a big tub of coconut oil. So either one, they're interchangeable. Brain octane will produce ketones faster, so you can kind of feel the brain octane. My brain clears right up, and energy levels go through the roof. Some people don't handle brain octane well. It's really hard on their stomach and their digestion. So if you're going to use brain octane, I would start off your first time with a teaspoon of brain octane and see how you feel.
Okay.
And then the Cardio Miracle
does it taste like coconut?
Brain octane does not taste like anything at all. So if you use brain octane, you won't taste coconut. If you use pure coconut oil, you probably will taste coconut.
All right, brain octane it is.
Yeah, okay. And then Cardio Miracle is really simple. Just follow the label. One scoop to make your drink, 2 drinks a day as a serving. I don't always do 2 a day. I always do 1 a day, but Maybe about half the time I do 2 a day.
Gotcha. And you can mix that with, because I'd listened before, you mixed it with, like some apple cider vinegar or something to help
Yeah, I make
immune
mine
support.
with just water, but then I put apple cider vinegar in it, I don't even measure it. I just put a big pour in there. That
Okay.
was the only reason I started doing that was the taste. Cardio Miracle is just too
Gotcha.
sweet for me. I can't take
Gotcha.
sweet very well, so the apple cider vinegar makes it taste really good. It's a nice balance, and then apple cider vinegar every day is good for you anyway.
Gotcha. Do you have time for one more question, or you get going?
I do. No, go ahead.
So, is it true that mint is going away?
Mint is going away. Yeah. Intuit is just shutting it down. I don't know what the dates are. I haven't really read the articles about it. They want you to move to Credit Karma, which is their app, and they bought Credit
Yep.
Karma. I haven't even looked at it yet. I've been too busy, so I haven't looked at Credit Karma. Haven't looked at their app. They say the transition will be easy, so we'll see.
Because I don't have anything. I was going to get started, start getting health in order, start getting personal finances in order. I'm a company driver, so there's no business expenses, but eventually I would like to be an owner-operator. And I saw Dave Ramsey has come out with some kind of program app, something. So I just didn't know if you had looked at different options.
Rather than just blindly jump over to Credit Karma, and that's why I haven't done it yet. I haven't had time. I am going to go look at the other options out there. I know there are several apps I've seen that do all the same things. I would have stuck with Mint forever if they would have left it alone. But now that it's going away, I'm going to go do the research again, and I'll take a look at Dave Ramsey's.
All right. 'Cause I've listened to his books, and so I'm going to start doing that.
Excellent.
I'm really good at, if something I want is there, I'm just like, I'm just going to go buy it. I like stuff, I guess, but
yeah.
I need to stop that and
Yeah,
start saving up for the future.
there you go. Well, it sounds like 2024 is going to be a great year for you. Got a lot of good stuff going on.
I hope so.
All right.
Hope so.
Keep it up
Thank
and
you. Safe
check
travel.
in. You're welcome. Let's go to Las Vegas. Ron, good morning.
Hey, Kevin. I'm going to try not to come on here. The prophet Joel Salatin, that's who I want to talk about. I'm all in for going to the Rogue Food Conference again this year. That was the best place I went all
Good.
last year. So
Good. I'd like to get there too. I got to check my schedule and see if we can make that work.
yeah. Did anybody ever send you a video of a guy playing a mandolin, singing a song from there?
No, I'd like to see it though.
No. Because last year I asked different people to video me because I don't do any tech. I don't do any screen.
Oh, got it. You're like David Owen.
Except for your app, so I can listen to your show.
Well, thank you. No, nobody sent me that video. I'd love to see it though.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll do something else. Maybe I'll see you there. I'm going there. I'm bringing my violins. I'm bringing my ukuleles. Probably more than just that, but I'm doing truck-friendly musical instruments.
Oh, nice.
You know, that are smaller than like a guitar.
Yeah. So what are the dates for that event?
Well, okay, last year was the 15th to the 17th of May. I'm not sure what it is this year, but it's going to be in the middle of May, I'm sure.
Man, that's a tough time for me. The garden is in full swing at that time of year.
Yeah. So anyway, when I talked to you last time, you said I was unhinged. It was, okay, my Chinatown band, okay, I didn't play anywhere. I just promoted it. I went to Apex, SEMA, the Mi'kmaq, a Risk-On 360 conference, and that's what I want to talk about. And one day I saw Wayne Allen Root, RFK Jr., and Tucker Carlson. Heard them all.
That's quite a day.
And that's the first. Yeah, it was the first time I heard Tucker since he left Fox News. He's quite a different guy.
Yeah, he
He
is.
really is. Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
he actually
doesn't
seems
he does
a little more laid back to me, a little more calm.
that, and he doesn't live in D.C. anymore, and he's like kind of like shell shocked. This is what he said. It was funny. He said, "Since I left D.C., I went back once," and he said, "I just couldn't do it." He said it's like watching obese people have sex. You just can't do it.
That's a good line.
Yeah. So anyway, I went there. I heard a bunch of speakers, the guys that were, billionaires, had big companies and all that. And it was small enough you could talk to them and all that.
Nice.
And I wanted to spread my morning routine of playing the mandolin for 5 hours straight before you did anything. Like this morning, I got up really early so I could get my 5 hours in because I knew I was going to call you. So anyway, I was spreading the word on that, and one of the doctors that was there that told me he had his blood test thing, and he talked about longevity and all that, and he wanted to see what my blood looked like. So I gave him he took a sample, one a wet, one a dried, and looked at it on the computer, and he said, "Well, you're definitely on a high fat diet." And I said, "Yeah, for about 10 years now." Because when you're talking about bulletproof coffee, I didn't put more than 2 scoops of coconut oil and stir it with a stick blender, and that's all. Just loading it up with as much coconut oil as I can, and that's it. And that's how, he looked right at my blood, and he said, "You're on a high-fat diet." It was obvious. And then he got me talking, and I told him, well, I started talking about carnivore. I said, "Listen," I said, "we're being set up for a famine, and it's these guys that tell you don't eat meat. They're going to get everybody on vegetables and then starve us." Yeah, I said that's going to happen. I said that's what they're trying to do. And, this guy's a little nuts, but I don't care.
It does seem like,
I don't care.
It does seem like there's an awful lot of evidence that that's
time.
what they're trying to do. Yeah, exactly.
But those people that say don't eat red meat for all those stupid reasons are wrong, because just like you say, you could live on an all meat diet a lot easier than be a lot healthier than an all vegetable diet any time.
I've done them both, and it's not even close.
Where you get the vegetables?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I actually don't. I live on a Yakult yogurt diet. Okay, so then I had the doctors there. I took my shirt off and showed them my when you look at my bare chest, my left arm is way more developed. My left pec is obviously bigger than the right one, and I told him it's from eating the Yakult yogurt and playing the mandolin for 5 hours straight. I said, "That's how I got it."
Yeah, that's right.
And he said, "Well, you could lift weights or something with your other arm." I said, "Hey, I did this myself, man. This is bad. I like my one big pectoral muscle."
There you go.
So anyway, I get all these. My mind I get clarity on everything in the morning from not using screens and playing my mandolin 5 hours a day.
That's quite a way to start the
And
day.
I solved this great mystery, Kevin.
Okay.
You know, back in the 60s, when the Beatles came over here and all those girls were screaming, you know, you've seen the films, right?
Right.
The women screaming like nuts, man. You know what they're screaming about?
What?
They wanted their eggs fertilized by a musician.
There you go.
That's right. I solved that mystery. Oh, hey, if you wanted me to play on the air, I'm ready. If you want, it's up to you. I'll just start playing and you cut it off anytime you want.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Hit it.
Okay. Here, just give me a split second. This is actually pretty easy to do. Okay, this song, it doesn't have any. It's in what they call public domain. It's the name of the song is Rivers of Babylon, but the words are from Psalm 137. It's in the public domain, and God owns the rights to this song. So every time somebody plays it, they actually get paid, but God doesn't have to deal with money, so you get things money can't buy.
There you go.
Rivers of Babylon.
There you go, Ron. Thank you for the beautiful serenade. Quality sounds a little less than ideal coming through a phone, but the playing was pretty awesome. So thank you for that. Would have let you go longer, but we got a short show today. Jump in and join us, 319-527-6791. It is a free-for-all. I'll either quit this when we run out of calls or in another 30 minutes, whichever one happens first. Let's go to Illinois. John, welcome to the program.
How you doing, Kevin? Thank you very much. It was nice meeting you this last Friday, and really enjoyed my time at the conference. Thank you for the recommendation, and wondering if you got into peaks and valleys at all on your trip.
I have not. I decided that I needed a break from thinking, and Patricia Cornwell just released her latest Kay Scarpetta novel, so I've been listening to that, and I got to tell you, I'm a little disappointed. I'm going to finish it. I've got like 3 hours left, maybe 2.5, 3 hours left, and I'm going to finish it, but I'm a little disappointed. This is not up to her usual level of writing. This one, it doesn't move very fast. It's not all that exciting. There's only one storyline. I don't know. Not sure what she did this time.
Yeah. Oh, it was really great meeting you and Brent and hanging out there at the conference. One question I did not get around to asking you is, what are those sacks that you put the food inside for the sous vide machine?
A lot of people use vacuum seal bags, like you get with all the vacuum seal food systems. I don't like that because they're plastic. So I actually use silicone bags. You can get them at Amazon.
Okay.
They have them in all different sizes. Now, the difference is The silicone bags are reusable. You wash them and reuse them. They're really,
Right.
really thick, and you don't vacuum seal those.
Right.
You just stick whatever
Yeah,
the
that's what I was
meat or
looking
whatever.
for, 'cause
Yeah.
I want to try to move my way away from plastic. It's going to be a long uphill battle, but I'll get there.
It is.
So-
Plastic has just invaded
Yeah.
everything, and I've been working on it, moving away from plastic for several years, and I still haven't gotten completely away. When I travel like this, I end up using even more plastic, just because glass is such a hassle on the road. But I'm trying to get away from plastic as much as possible.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. I really enjoyed this last Friday, and looking forward to learning more from the radio show.
Absolutely. Thanks for the call. It was great to meet you. When I had talked about not having my X3 with me, I came back from dinner that night, and there was an X3 bar all bagged up and just right there by my door to the coach. So John had left it for me so I could use it that next morning, which was pretty great. Thanks for that, John. Then he came over and helped me get my satellite down at the end of the night. So, like I said, I wish I would have had more time to spend with everybody that was there. It was just Friday went so fast, and then I really needed to get out of there. I'm glad I did. After I get off the air today, I'm going to make a quick check on David and the rest of the people at NASTIC. The NASTIC office is not very far from Hendersonville. It's right there at the line, Gallatin. So I'm going to call and see if everybody's doing all right there. We've got lines open if you want to jump in right now. If not, I'm going to my last call right now. And today's one of those days where I'll probably just wrap it up if I run out of calls. 319-527-6791. Give me a call. Let's go to South Carolina. Terrence, welcome.
What's up, Kev? So, real quick on those bags. So that it'll just say silicone bags. Will it to give a description for like sous vide, or is it just silicone cooking bags?
They probably just say silicon cooking bags. Some of them might say for sous vide because a lot of people use them for that.
Okay.
But they're fairly easy to find. They come in a bunch of different sizes. And
All right, cool. So I got a question about hemoglobins. So Leanne went and did some blood work on Thursday. Was it Thursday or Friday? Thursday or Friday, I forget. And it was Friday. She had the white blood cell counts were good, well, good as they can be. And then they told her her hemoglobin was low, and they gave her a shot. But I bought some of that bone marrow, ancestral bone marrow. Is that good? Will that help with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And having,
Okay.
with everything
Cool.
she's going through, low hemoglobin is a pretty common occurrence.
Right. Yeah. But I just, like I said, she just, I was like, you don't want to keep getting shots and shots and shots. I said, we got to just start working on. So I
Yeah,
got her on like
that's
the bone broth, and then
perfect.
that goes up those bone marrow. I just wanted to make sure I was going in the right direction with them.
Absolutely. Good job.
All right, that's all I really got.
All right.
I'll let you go if you got to get on the road. Be safe.
Will do.
All right.
Thanks
Later.
for the call. All right, we've got some calls coming in. We're screaming. I'll be screaming in a minute. We're screening those, so looks like enough calls to probably take me right through to the top of the hour. We'll get to those here. Like I said, I didn't have a lot today. I've got a lot on my mind after this trip. A lot of really, really good things happened on this trip, no doubt about that. I got to see and spend time with a lot of our industry partners, and got to spend a lot of time with NASTIC. I need to just kind of get home, rest. Now, I will warn you ahead of time. I haven't looked at the holiday schedule yet, but I plan on taking at least a full week off of the show before the end of this year. Haven't really taken a lot of time off lately, and this trip, it doesn't feel like I've had a day off this whole trip. Weekends, I'm usually either driving or trying to catch up on a lot of stuff and working through the weekends and meetings. And so once the holidays get here, which we're really down to a couple weeks now, I'm going to look at the schedule and probably take one full week off from the show. And a lot of that is it's not that I won't be working at all. I will be. but a lot of it will be really kind of outlining and planning next year because we've got a lot going on. Let's go to Indiana. Jeff, welcome.
Hey, I did a unintentional, unexpected 68.5-hour fast. I've never done that before. Anything more than 24 hours. Things were busy. Things were going on. I wasn't hungry, and it just kind of happened. So I don't know what. I've never done that. Read about it. Any feedback on something like that?
You know, I've done a lot of reading on fasting. I've experimented with it. And I've said this a lot. I don't do really long extended fasts. And I don't because I really don't feel all that great when I do it. A 24-hour fast, I usually do feel better when it's over. 48 hours for me is a long fast. And I've seen people do, 72. I've seen people do 7 days or longer. I don't know. I haven't seen a ton of evidence that there's a lot of benefit to the extended fasting. You can end up with some nutritional deficiencies depending on how long you do it and what your nutritional status was like before you started. So I really don't talk a lot about long fasts. If people like doing them and they feel like they're getting some benefit from them, then they should. I tend to do the 18-6 fast every day, and then if I'm not feeling good or, I've done it a couple times on this trip right now, I might just do a 24-hour fast, and that's about it for me.
Yeah, like I said, it was unintentional. I ate 2 ground beef burgers with eggs and bacon on Wednesday night, and I woke up and I wasn't hungry. I didn't get around to it till Saturday afternoon. I mean, I never planned on it. I thought there's no way I could ever go 24 hours. It just kind of happened. So
look, even if you're talking about long fast, 5 or 7 days, I don't think there's any danger in it whatsoever. And most of the people that I see do it say they feel better while they're doing it. So you should do it. I've tried longer fast. I don't feel good. 48 hours to me is quite a long time. 24 hours is no big deal. I mean, I could do a 24-hour fast just about any time. When you eat like this, it's not hard. And I do tell people, if you're not hungry, don't eat.
Yeah, I just wasn't. And it was surprising that usually, I can go to 18-6 and I wasn't hungry. And then I went to bed and I woke up and wasn't hungry. And I'm like, okay, maybe this afternoon. And I wasn't. And so I don't think I'll ever do it again unless I just don't get hungry. But I've been doing this for 3 years now and strictly carnivore for a year. And just all of a sudden it hit me that, I'm not hungry, so just not going to eat. Never got around to it.
Yeah, and especially if you're not hungry, then go ahead and fast. But if you're pushing the fast and you're not feeling good, but you're trying to get some random number that you decided you should get to, I'm not sure I see the point.
Right. Yeah, that's why it was 68.5. I said I could have gone 72, and then it would have been 3 days, and then I could have gone to bed, and then it would have been 84. But what's the point? I was hungry, and I was out, and I ate. So
yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
So, all right, well, have a safe trip home, and get home to your chickens, and we'll listen to you tomorrow or listen today and this week. All
right, thanks for the call. All right, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting home. There's no doubt. Got a couple more hard days left, and then looking forward to just kind of hunkering down at home and working on the 2024 plan. And just I do need a little bit of a break. It's been a while. Let's go to Virginia. Steve, welcome to the program.
Is that me, Kevin?
It is. Go ahead.
Oh, I didn't hear a beep. Okay. All right. Yeah. I think I sent it to you in Messenger, but the new study that came out, mainstream media obviously is downplaying it, but they found that 25 to 30% of people that took the mRNA vaccines had the mRNA was making spikes other than the spikes for just the COVID, and those folks have those spikes running around their bodies. That's why we're getting later on more and more people are having issues out a ways. The long-term testing, where everybody that took it is one of the test subjects, whether they like it or not. There was no long-term testing, and but they, like I said, these were some of the foremost researchers that are mainstream. These aren't the quote unquote anti-vaxxers that they like to talk about. So, but the media's they're not highlighting it. So,
is this the same?
I don't know if you've seen it yet. But
I saw a study the other day. I didn't have time to really dig into it, but I kind of grazed through it quickly. It was pointing out the fact that there's clear evidence now that anybody with the vaccine, the more doses you got, the worse this was, that they're seeing an awful lot of autoimmune conditions. And that would be exactly what you would expect if this thing is building proteins, then those proteins are in our bloodstream. That's what our immune system sees. And if those proteins look anything like any of our organs, that's how we end up with an autoimmune condition. If that protein looks like a protein in your joints, you could end up with rheumatoid arthritis. If it ends up looking like the proteins in your thyroid, you'll end up with an autoimmune thyroid condition. And there seems to be an awful lot of that going on, and now the evidence seems to be that it is vax-related.
Yeah, lots of blood issues, the coagulation. I actually saw one the other day that was shocking. They actually had the MRI of the chest of the guy. They saved him. They had to go into his lungs. He had all the blood. He had so many blood clots in his lungs. The MRI picked them up. It looked like snakes running through his lungs. They had to go into his veins and suck those out. And then they showed the picture of what they sucked out. That's just crazy and amazing. You think about think about the brain there with all the strokes. Jamie Foxx, obviously, the man is as healthy looking as anybody ever was out there. And all of a sudden, he has strokes and all kinds of issues with clotting in the brain. And now he's not saying anything. But a whole lot of people, I think, don't want to say anything. They don't want to look like they're blaming it on the vaccine. But I'm sure things like that are related in some way. And but I don't know when people are going to at least wake up and say, you know what, we really need to find out what's happening long term.
So they've always tried to downplay this and say, oh, that's not true, and those kind of cases have always happened. You're just pointing them out now. But not exaggerating, I bet I follow 15 different accounts on X that constantly post about sudden deaths. Now, they're not posting about cancers, or they are posting primarily about sudden, unexplained deaths in young people. Then we had the whole movie, Died Suddenly, where they showed all those blood clots that were being taken out. And if any of this stuff is being faked, it should be really, really easy to debunk this stuff. Then on top of that, we've got all the cases now. People are documenting turbo cancers. We have all the case now of documenting an increase in autoimmune conditions and giving an explanation of how the vax could be responsible for that. We've got crazy government data that came out of New Zealand.
From all causes.
Yes, New Zealand has some of the best numbers on death for all causes.
Oh, yeah.
And it points directly to
and
the vax.
They were the most vaccinated country in the world, I believe.
And
I believe they had the highest percentage.
The guy that leaked that data has already been arrested.
Oh yeah.
So
that tells you it's got to be it has to be totalitarianism for this to work. And now they're wanting to do all of the other vaccines, including all of the vaccines your dogs must take as mRNA vaccines. It's a lot cheaper to do mRNA than it is regular vaccines.
Oh, imagine that.
So, now think about the animals now going forward.
Yeah.
It's like my wife always insists on her flu shot. I made her shop around and find one that wasn't an mRNA because that's most of the ones they're doing this year for flu shots this year, mRNA again. And Dr. McCullough, Dr. Malone, and I think they both had a hand in inventing that mRNA technology. They said no. So I kind of like what those guys know more about it. I kind of like what they the way they are.
Well,
but like I say, I just mainly I shoot you stuff through Messenger. I think I sent that. If I didn't, I'll try to send it through. I think it might be the one you're talking about. It was a very, very well done study, and they can't complain about it being from people that have no credibility. Well, these were all their mainstream scientists.
And here's the other thing. Should just dispute any of these and prove them wrong. Why? What? That should not be difficult to do, and yet there's no attempt made to prove any of this wrong.
No.
The only thing they do is just try to shut it down so you don't see it.
Yeah, attack, and like I say, just reduce the credibility of whoever's doing it. But
right.
But it's I think the people out here are a lot smarter. And I just don't think I just think it's run its course. Pfizer right now, but one of the things it said in there, and this is one thing in the study it said, and Dr. McCullough, they actually went to Dr. McCullough. There's one thing in there that makes that thing last for months not on the shelf but in the refrigerator. All right, it makes, I can't think of the name, but it's some chemical. If they took that one chemical out, it would improve it greatly as far as not causing the problem. And they won't do it because they'd have to throw away too much vaccine because it keeps it stable for like 4 or 5 months. And nothing like that should be in a refrigerator for 4 or 5 months and go in somebody's body.
Yeah, exactly.
It shouldn't happen. But it's all about money with Pfizer, obviously. So, but like I say, at some point, I see it. I see the tide changing. I really do. People that were gung-ho about it before are just not saying anything now. We appreciate you and everything you're doing.
Hey, you might want to turn the news on. I'm seeing some news come across the wire right now. China initiates massive cyber attack on United States infrastructure.
Oh, man.
That's scary sounding.
Yeah, I worry about that. I worry about EMS. I worry about a lot of things, a lot more than the viruses. Now they're still doing the viruses. The EcoHealth Solutions, that they're still getting tens of millions of dollars from the government, and they're still doing it not just at Wuhan but at other places too. So. They're playing with Mother Nature. They're playing with God with all this stuff they're doing, and it's not going to end well. I can tell you. Bill Gates may get he may get his wish to depopulate the earth quicker than he thinks. The way they're doing.
I don't like the sounds of China messing around in our infrastructure.
No, not at all. So
that sounds bad.
But
keep an eye on that.
Yeah, it does. All righty. All right, that's all I got.
All right. Yeah, that's just coming across the wire right now. I have no other details, but when I see China and massive cyber attack, that's concerning. If you don't have cash and you're traveling on the road, you should definitely have cash. That's one of the big issues that they could take down our banking system. If they take down the power grid at all in an area, that is really devastating. But if they take down the financial systems, that can create a lot of havoc as well. We'll keep an eye on that today. Let's take a couple more calls here. Let's go to Tennessee. Wesley, welcome.
Hey, Kevin, how you doing?
Good. What's on your mind today?
It was a good class on Friday. He definitely kept us busy. We didn't get a chance to chat a whole lot with too many people.
No, even lunch was quick.
Yeah, lunch was fast. I'll tell you, though, last thing I wanted to do is show up at that class with you there in my 379.
Honestly, I don't even pay attention to that kind of stuff. I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
I really don't. There were trucks all over. I don't really pay attention to whose truck's whose. Or my mind's usually so occupied during stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, it was good. I owe you credit for getting my own authority 10 years ago, and I just want to tell you that, I'm doing a deal. I got customers, and
Excellent.
I'm hauling. I got loads through a broker. One of my best customers is a broker, and I'm still, he loads me every Monday.
Fantastic.
I'm on my way to pick up one of his loads now, and it's pushing $3 a mile still. So those relationships with those loads before they hit the boards are definitely real.
That this time seems a little different from the other downturns that I've seen. That contracted freight, and not necessarily so much at the big end of the market with the big carriers, but guys like you that kind of have some dedicated stuff for, stuff they pull all the time, or a couple brokers they work for. Those rates seem to be staying much stronger than they have in the past.
Yeah, they haven't really changed. One thing that's interesting that we don't talk about much is it's not just the broker's relationship with the shipper, it's the broker's relationship with the shipper's customer too. And that's what's keeping him on this freight is they need the communication between the shipper's customer and the broker, and the customers are requesting this broker and the guys he sends to them.
Yeah. It seems to me like there are a lot of shippers this time that could go out and get cheaper rates, but they don't seem to be doing it.
Right.
That's a good sign.
Well, they tried. Yeah, they tried, and he had a hard time this year holding on to it, but that's what it was. It was that further relationship that kept him in there.
Yeah.
But
good.
Other than that, I'm just looking to cut some costs. I'm seeing a lot of opportunity right now. A lot of equipment going on for sale, and trying to do the deal, So,
sure is.
But it was good to see you, and I'll let you go for now.
All right. Yeah, it was great seeing you there. Like I said, I wish we would have had more time to spend with everybody, but the day just went so fast. I didn't even eat lunch. They only took like 25 minutes for lunch, and they brought it right into the room, so it was easy. I had to actually take a break. I went out to the coach. I had to get some work done, and it went fast. And then right after, I had a meeting, so I just didn't get to spend as much time with the tribe as I wanted to. Let's go to Ohio. Paul, welcome.
Thanks, Kevin.
What can I help you with today?
So here's the situation. I'm currently sitting in a hospital room. They are trying to remove my gallbladder. They're not giving me an option, but they made the mistake of delaying it. It was diagnosed as having gallstones, and their automatic response is to pull it. What can I do to break up those gallstones and save it?
Did they tell you how many or how big?
They did not.
And have they tested any of them at all?
No.
Yeah, good. So nothing to test. They haven't told you anything. It sounds like maybe they were trying to treat it as like an emergency, but then they postponed it?
Yeah, I came in the emergency room, doubled over, throwing up, the whole 9 yards. I knew what it was as soon as I got here because I'd ruled out everything else. I thought originally heartburn medication didn't work. It's like, okay, well, I have no options. It's got to be a gallbladder. I need to get into the hospital so I can at least get the pain taken care of, and then I can figure out what my options are from there. I came in and they treated it like it was an emergency, but they don't do emergency surgery on a gallbladder on the weekend. Today's Monday. Their schedule's full. They're going to send me home and delay it. I'm going to try and take that opportunity to try to save the gallbladder. Okay. I remember everything you've always said was if you can save it, save it.
So there is a protocol. We have some supplements. It is definitely worth saving. And as long as they said, we don't do emergency surgery on the weekend, that's almost kind of funny. Well, it can't be much of an emergency then, really.
That's how I look at it. You want to do emergency surgery on it, but you don't consider
we don't do it on the weekends,
emergency surgery.
Right. And we don't do emergencies on the weekend. And then Monday comes around and we're going to send you home and delay it. So that tells me it's not dangerous. So you can take some time. So I don't put the entire gallbladder protocol out. I will tell you that immediately you should start drinking acidic stuff in your water, lemon juice, lime juice, apple cider vinegar. Those will actually start to dissolve it. That's not the whole protocol.
Okay.
We have some supplements for this. I would recommend either a good functional medicine doctor, if you want to work with a doctor on this, or if you just want to work through the protocol, you could do that in the coaching program as well.
I'll probably try to do both. I know the coaching I can get right away, and it might take me a while to find the right doctor.
Yeah, we'll have a. Do we have a? I think this week is trucking, but I would take a health question in a case like this, even though it's trucking.
Right.
That's the nice thing. Everybody's paying for both programs, so we could do that on Thursday.
Okay.
But that's what I would recommend. Start. The acidic drinks, lemon or lime juice or apple cider vinegar in your water. Lots of water. Stay very hydrated. And that'll get started on this, and then we could start the protocol Thursday.
Awesome. Who do I get in touch with for that?
I'm going to put you back on hold, and Morgan will help you out right now. And make sure, Morgan, I get the notes on this prior to Thursday, because I need to put the protocol together for him. So we will do that. I'm going to put you back on hold right now. Morgan can pick up, and we'll get that taken care of. In the meantime, I'll take our final call in Texas. Paul, good morning.
Howdy.
What's on your mind today?
Well, a couple of things now, but Steve said Bill Gates is dancing with God. He's dancing with the devil, I think. So,
yeah, he sure is.
So, on Saturday, my wife and I, we went and visited a rest home. To keep her occupied, she likes sewing. She makes these little tote bags, and we just go to the rest home or wherever and dish them out, give them to people. So people that are in a walker or a wheelchair, they always trying to stuff a can in a drink or an orange or something. It's hard to walk with a walker when you only put one hand on it.
Yeah.
So we show up there at the veterans home. We took 100 of these tote bags. We know it's going to be military people, so American flag material and camo for the Army guys, just stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we get there and ask a staff member, tell them what we got going on and everything. And they just finished. So the lady at the mall, I told them to say, got these tote bags, you can put your hip flask in there or your pistol or your orange or so we dish some out there, and then we end up in the dining room. The crap they serve those people,
Yeah.
they just trying to kill them.
Isn't it awful?
Just sugar and pasta, and because one guy is really friendly, talkative. When we'd seen him in the activity room, and then he left and he'd gone up to the dining room. When we walked in there, he'd been talking to my wife quite a bit, and as soon as he seen her, he's like, "Marilyn, here, hey, come and join us for lunch." No, we'll pass. Sorry.
Yeah.
But so about 2.5 hours later, we left the rest home, but we dished out all these little tote bags. So
Nice.
I guess that was our good deed for the day. But
Yeah, there you go.
I couldn't believe the crap they serve them. It's like, oh, look at that, sugar on
It
sugar
is
and
just awful.
low fat.
Yeah.
And it's like, God, look, some of these people are not healthy. They're obese and they're in wheelchairs. And it's like, yeah, give them another piece of cake, kill them earlier. That looks
Yeah.
like what they're trying to do to me. But that's about all I got today.
All
Just
right.
something simple.
All right.
And it was Christmas, thought I'd pay it forward. So.
There you go. Your good deed. We need to do more of that. All right. We are going to wrap this up. That's our hour for today. I'm going to get on the road. There's snow on the ground. I've got a lot of driving to do. I've got a lot to do in the next couple of days. So, and I want to make sure I do try to get the live show in every day. It may be a little shorter, but we'll get it done. So we'll see you back here tomorrow for the Power Hour. Be safe, be profitable, be fit and healthy. Always do the hard work and master the journey.